Minneapolis South High School is the site where the most anticipated game of the season will take place. Keystone Productions is proud to present the rematch of last year's Class 4A Girls Basketball Championship with the Minneapolis South Tigers and the St. Paul Central Minutemen. The Super Bowl of Minnesota girls basketball kicks off shortly. Hello again, everyone. I'm Mike Peden, along with Tony Geer. Tony, you can sum up this bout with two words: Central, South.
Last year was kind of an anticipated result with a 20 or 30 point finish in both the Twin City game and in the state championship finals. This year, Central is not as strong. They've shown that they're vulnerable with losses to Centennial and to Poly from California. South has shown that they're vulnerable with loss to Hopkins. This should be a great contest.
Now, Central may not be the team hyped up to win this year's state title with a 15-2 record, but they have three NCAA Division I players steering the ship. One of them, Taylor, just recorded her 1,000th point last night against Arlington.
She was 4 points away. She got it with about 5.5 minutes into the game. It was kind of a nice thing for her. She's a third player from St. Paul Central, and I think it's this season on this roster to do so.
On the other end, Minneapolis South has proven they are much stronger than last year. They are 3-1 against top 10 schools this season with wins against Becker, Kennedy, and Eastview. In fact, they're ranked above Central nationally by MaxPreps.com. Coming into today, South was ranked 20th in the nation. Central is 33rd.
South has shown that they're very strong with the early commitment by Tayler Hill on her work ethic and her skills, with a lot of folks saying that she's WNBA material right now. Minneapolis South is more than just Tayler Hill. They've shown that over the last couple of years. And again, I can hardly wait for this, the first of anticipated 2 or 3 matchups between this team this year.
Okay, now we'll look at the keys to the game. We'll begin with St. Paul Central. First, they have to stay out of foul trouble. Minneapolis South is not a team you want to be performing too many lineup experiments against. If their starters get into foul trouble early, St. Paul Central could be in big trouble. Second, they have to contain Tayler Hill. We've seen what Tayler Hill can do this season when she's let loose, and she'll strike opponents from anywhere in the court, inside or outside. They have to work to stop her. And finally, they need to keep the rest of the South players to an average game. Minneapolis South is led by their marquee 3, and if Tayler Hill has trouble, they need to make sure the rest of her options don't step up. Tony, what does Minneapolis South need to do?
As you said, they need to hold, St. Paul Central needs to hold South to an average game within the team and not let Tayler Hill loose. Letting Tayler Hill loose, though, is anywhere from 30 feet on in. You know, she's got that range to hit from half court on a regular basis, as she demonstrated in the Hopkins loss with a couple of late threes. On the other side of that, South needs to have more ball control than they displayed against Hopkins. They need to be more patient than they displayed against Hopkins. Granted, Hopkins was on a third game in 3 days in a row, and this will not be. But I think South understands what kind of game they're getting into with Central.
Who will write the next chapter of the Central-South rivalry? We're about to find out. We'll now take a look at the starting lineups. We will begin with the visiting St. Paul Central Minutemen. For Central, the starters will be Sienna West at guard, Sierra Taylor at guard, Kiara Buford at forward, Georgie Jones at center, and Megan Howard at center. Central this season has a lot of ways they can beat you. 4 of their 5 starters average double digits in scoring. And for Minneapolis South, the starters will be Tayler Hill at guard, Tyisha Smith at guard, Ephesia Holmes at guard, Gabrielle Roberts at forward, Sequoia Hammock at center, and there's no question about who the playmaker is for Minneapolis South.
Tayler Hill, number 3.
Central wearing white today, Minneapolis South wearing their familiar black jerseys. We have a near capacity crowd waiting to get this game started. Tip-off is made. Here we go. Central will get the first possession.
South is in a player-to-player defense.
Tyisha Smith comes up with the steal. She leads the state in that category. Kiara Buford, that's a clean block. No whistles called. And here comes Central. Buford's pass intercepted by Tayler Hill, and now we're going the other way. Hill takes it herself, gets the basket. South strikes first. Hill averaging 21.8 points per game coming into today.
I think both teams realize the importance of this game, the caliber of play they're playing against. You're going to see Buford and Hill really step it up.
South in a swing motion. West draws a foul.
That'd be Tyisha Smith from behind. Her first, team's first. No, they gave it to Roberts.
One thing in the last game we televised South Kennedy, South had some issues with foul trouble.
South has a bench where they can handle those issues though.
Indeed. Sienna West misses her first free throw at the line this season. She is 3 of 6 and hasn't had too many attempts, but she gets the back end. Central using a more three-quarters press this time. Ephesia Holmes finds Hammock. Buford's right there to disrupt her, and that may have saved the basket, but she gets the ball. Never mind. Kiara Buford with the strip.
Hammock went up real strong, but it would have been wiser to kick it out to the open player.
West for no good. Rebound, Hammock. Hammock, the tallest player on the court at 6'4". Holmes drives it herself. Count it.
On the made basket, we saw Central going to 1-2-1-1 three-quarter press with pressure. And South seemed to handle it once they got under control what they were looking at. Central is also in a man-to-man, as is South.
Kiara Buford gets called for her first personal foul. Ephesia Holmes at the line to complete the three-point play. Successful. And South has opened up to a 5-1 start. Now South trying to use some full court press. Tayler stops, pops short, rebound Hammock. Now she's in trouble, gets out of it.
It's very important for somebody to let Hammock know that they're available for the outlet, and she should have had an outlet on both sides. The only outlet she had was Holmes on the defensive side of the ball.
Now Central trying a zone. And South is taking their time. Hill finds Holmes. Foul.
Holmes tried to step up into a double team from Howard and Jones, and that's kind of a tall duo to step into.
The foul's on Megan Howard, her first personal. It's a non-shooting foul. Holmes tries again. No good. Jones comes up with it, and she draws the foul.
Fouls on Hammock.
That is her first. Jones leads the St. Paul City Conference in rebounds at about 10 a game.
South is in a 2-1-1 float full court defense. Goes into a man.
Jones, too strong. Tayler races in to get the rebound. Overthrows Kiara Buford.
Tayler saw Hill hanging around and tried to get over Hill's head. The problem is Buford isn't that tall.
Buford at 5'11", about an inch taller than Hill is. And Central wastes an opportunity. Tyisha Smith finds Hammock, and she knows what to do.
Tyisha Smith shows you what a point guard is supposed to do. Be aggressive and attack.
They made Central pay on that mistake. Now Buford goes to Jones on the inside, and she gets 2 points from the paint. The first field goal for St. Paul Central.
Central dropping back into a half-court pressure.
Hill gets the ball stripped, and Buford picks it up. Central has gone with the more of a half-court defense this season. Buford gets the left-handed hook.
Buford is attacking the lane, especially on the side that Roberts is on. She is prone to foul.
Tyisha Smith overthrows Takoya Hammock, and Central has a chance to tie or take the lead on this possession.
Full court man by South now.
Buford to West. To Tayler. Tayler gets tripped, and Holmes will pick up the foul.
That was a wrong place, wrong time foul. It was decent defense outside of that.
The foul is Holmes' first personal, the team's third. Buford looking to Jones, goes to Tayler. That's 2 if it falls. No. Rebound goes to Gabrielle Roberts.
Roberts was able to get that because Hammock knocked it out of Jones's hands.
Hill for 3. No good.
Foul from behind on Howard. Both teams being very aggressive on the boards.
That is her second personal. That's one thing that hasn't changed from a year ago. These two teams are going to be very aggressive, and they're going to come after each other.
New players into the game for South, it's Julio, and for Central, it's Johnson and
Brittany Dorsey.
Dorsey, thank you.
Tyisha Smith gets the foul, and count it.
Tayler, who just got her 1,000th point last night, committed the foul. That's her first, team fourth.
Fouls piling up early in this game. Smith for a three-point play, successful. Dorsey stops, pops, in and out, gets her own rebound, goes to Buford, and Central will reset.
Extended man defense by South, making Central play a little further away from each other for passing lanes.
Hill nearly got the steal. Now Buford is inside, spins around, fires, misses. Rebound goes to Jones, and she cleans up the mess.
Excellent inside play by Jones. And did you see the way Buford used her back foot to try to get another foot closer to the basket on that shot?
Holmes cannot answer. Jones with the rebound. Jones has 4 points for Central. Buford, well short. Hooley picks up the rebound. And now Holmes, that's for 2. That was no good. This time Holmes picks up the steal. Tyisha Smith is open. She's too strong. Holmes cleans up the mess.
5-point lead now for South. Central's going to call a timeout because South has gained some momentum on the full court pressure.
They're a much different South team than a year ago. Well, while we're on a timeout, we're going to throw to the rosters on both teams and hear what they had to say on what this game means to them. So we'll take you to the players now.
We always like to play South just because, you know, I mean, we've beat them my freshman year. They beat us my sophomore year. And then we beat them last year, so, and they want to beat us this year, so, you know, it's good for us. It'll be interesting.
But I think that South and Central, I think that it's a huge game because of they beat us last year, so now we want our victory back.
I think it's really important to me, our matchup against South. Last year we beat them twice, and I think this year our team's different, so and South didn't really lose anybody. So I think it's going to be another big statement game for us this year, just as it was last year.
If we can beat Central, then we can beat any other team. And Central, they're a good team, even without Angel. I'm saying they're a good team. So when we play them, it's going to be a challenge.
Well, it's always a big game, and it's always one the crowd and the players look forward to. So we just have to go out there and play hard.
You can't really explain it with words. It's just the best thing I think anybody will see coming out of Minnesota.
I think that they're kind of like one of our rivalries, our big rivalries. So it's going to be a big game, you know, everyone's going to be there. And so it just gives us more, you know, motivation, and we have to go out and beat them.
When we beat them, then yeah, everybody will know who is actually good, because they had an all-star team last year.
It's going to be a big game. A lot of people are going to come out there to support us, but if we play hard and do what we are capable of doing, we should be fine.
We rejoin action. No substitutions made during the break. Now we see South trying full court press. Dorsey looked to get inside, but South shut her down. Tayler from long distance, swish. Tayler gets the first basket of the game. It's 12-9 in favor of South. Tyisha Smith runs around Buford. Can't get the basket, but does draw the foul.
Coming in late to try to get the block, I believe, was Dorsey. Nope. They're going to call that on Jones.
And it's her first. Central with one foul left to give. Tyisha Smith back at the line. Makes her first. Smith coming into today averaging 13.6 points per game. It's tied for the lead in steals at 6.7 a game, and she's 2 of 2 here. South is 4 for 4 from the free throw line in the early going. On the other end, Buford uses the right hand and gets the bucket.
Central did a great job of being patient and looking for the open player.
Central using a 1-2-2. And a foul is called.
It's not like the referees are trying to establish control because the contact has been there. But what the referees are establishing is this is how the game's going to be called. This is what you need to look for when you're playing your defense. And I think that's great at this point.
The foul is on Brittany Dorsey, her first. Central now out of fouls to give. Holmes from the free throw line. I think someone got a hand on it, and Jones comes up with the ball, and she draws the foul.
Roberts gets her second foul. As I indicated earlier, she's prone to make contact. That just means that she's an aggressive player, that's all.
Roberts picked up 4 fouls in the South Kennedy game. But as you mentioned, and as Emil Jihab will tell you, South has a much deeper bench than they did a year ago.
Europe guy, a transfer from North, is in, as well as number 21.
Amisha Kearney. Tayler from the three-point line, no good. Jones with the rebound, no good. Rebound, Tyisha Smith. Tyisha Smith waves away through a double team to get the layup.
She had to reach back to make that shot, too. What an athletic move.
She's only a sophomore, and we have a blocking foul. It's going to go against Europe Guy.
Buford went up to catch the ball. Guy was trying to be right there. She was just a half a step too strong. One thing I've noticed about the shots that St. Paul Central is taking, they're not squaring up, they're not balanced. They're putting the ball up just to put it up. They need to get away from that.
They're still down by 5. Jones inside, too strong. And no, the rebound was by Tasha Garrett. That didn't fall. South will get possession.
I haven't seen Garrett before. I don't recall seeing her when I watched the Long Beach game.
Garrett, averaging 8.5 points per game, hasn't gotten a lot of playing time until late, which might have to do with their conference schedule. We'll talk about that in a minute. Tasha Garrett breaks up the pass, comes up with a steal. And now Buford goes coast to coast, sink set.
She hesitated the South defense by looking like she was going to pass it off to the right before the shot. And it's a great ball fake move by the Division I signee for the University of Minnesota.
Hill wanted to spin around, goes back out, finds Smith. Holmes wanted a three, goes to Smith instead. She goes to Kearney. Now Kearney will fire, but Taylor's defense prevented anything from happening. Taylor for three. Well short. Minneapolis South will take possession.
The 4 or 5 possessions going up and down the floor that I've seen Garrett play, I can understand why she's in this lineup at this time for Willie Taylor. She anticipates very, very well.
Hill, swish.
Tayler Hill is just hard to stop. She'll pop and stop at any point on the floor, and I literally mean any point.
Garrett from long range, no. Your guy comes up with it. You're talking about Hill. The last 2 years, she led the state in scoring. This year, as she drives again, and she'll go to the line for a 1-and-1 situation. This year, Hill is not leading the state in scoring. That position belongs to Julianne Mitchell, but Hill has spread the offense much more this year.
And one of the advantages that Julianne Mitchell has at Edison is the fact that there's not a large supporting cast for her like there is here at South for Taylor. Taylor can afford not to be the top scorer in the state, and her team will still win. At Edison, it has to be Mitchell or Reed.
Hill makes her first. Again, she averages 21.8 points per game. Her rebounding numbers have also improved this season.
Samantha Robinson-Ricks is also in the game for Central, along with, I believe, Brianna Reeves checked in, number 23. There she is, no, she didn't. I know she was getting ready to. Robinson-Ricks handling the ball.
Hill makes both free throws. South is 6 for 6. Sienna West misses her target, Georgie Jones, and South will get another possession.
A 7-point lead for South, and you can see the difference in the confidence in their game between South and Central, especially when you look at the shots. As I indicated earlier, Central is not squaring up.
Hill to Holmes, back to Hill. Goes to Europe guy inside, and a traveling violation is called.
Coaches teach at jump stop and get going, and there are a lot of coaches that teach it correctly, and some players just learn it wrong.
South trying full court press again. West to Kiana Johnson. Johnson, uncontested, bullseye!
I don't think she'll be left uncontested much longer.
Brings the lead back to 4. Hill looking to respond. Bullseye! You can't leave Hill open from behind the arc.
You can't leave Hill open, period.
Can't leave her open in half court. Ephesia Holmes comes in with the steal. Hill has a 1-on-2. No basket, but a foul is called. She will go to the free throw line.
I believe that foul is going to be on number 14. No.
It's on Kiana Johnson.
Kiana Johnson.
Her first personal.
5'6" junior. And one of the differences for South on defense as opposed to Central is right now South is being patient and putting their hands in the passing lane at the reception point. They're not reaching, they're not diving into the passing lanes, they're just putting their hands there.
Hill has broken double digits in scoring as she gets the front end. South has yet to miss a free throw. Substitutions coming in for Central. Megan Howard is back in. And for South, Dakoya Hammock steps in for Europe Guy. Hill makes both again. And on the other end, Tayler had an open look and was too strong.
Nice look by Johnson, though, at guard position on that possession.
And Hill gets broken up. It will stay South possession. Central doing what they can to shake them up.
Tayler swept at that ball from behind as she was late getting back on defense.
For three, that's Kearney. Short. And we have a foul on South. It's against Dakoya Hammock.
Didn't we just praise her for the last few games?
We did. She picks up her second personal. South out of fouls to give. Tyisha Smith nearly gets the steal. She doesn't have a problem picking up steals on her own side of the court. Buford kicks out to West, to Johnson. Johnson, they got her on the three-point line. And Buford will go to the free throw line.
That was a fortunate play by Buford because Hill was in proper position, getting ready to block that. She just happened to pull the ball in to start her shooting motion as she was going up, thus getting tangled up in Hill's arms, and Hill committed the foul that way.
That's her first personal. Buford makes her first. She is an impressive 91% from the free throw line this season, 64 of 70 coming into today.
For that reason alone, any college coach would love to have her. Any college coach would love to see their players hit 79 or better percent.
And she gets both here. It's 25-18 though in favor of Minneapolis South. Hill lays one up. No basket, but another trip to the free throw line. The foul is on Kiara Tayler.
The one difference you'll notice in the referees between the Kennedy game and this game is these referees are actually communicating very well with the players. What's going on, the calls they're making. They're very authoritative and allowing the players to understand what's happening.
Hill now 5 of 5 from the charity stripe. She has taken control of this game early. Make that 6 of 6. Howard to Buford. Buford inside again. And she'll get another trip to the free throw line.
Once again, she turned around great. She was getting ready to go up, but South played such aggressive defense, it was difficult for her to square up and get a decent shot off. It's not that Central needs to stop doing that. It's that South is playing that well on defense, one-on-one.
And something rare for Buford to miss from the free throw line. Amisha Kearney will get tagged with her first personal foul.
You have to mark that on the video. It could be the only one you see all night. Okay, 2.
I think you spoke too soon.
Announcer's jinx. Holmes with a long distance, no contested look.
And Central will get possession. It's one of those things where if she makes it, it's a great move. If not, you might say she went too quickly.
That's a shot that Holmes usually makes, though. I don't see Emil on the bench as a South coach going, no, 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 yes on that kind of a shot. That's one where you see Willie going, no, 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 don't block, but dang.
Tayler did block, and she'll get called for a foul because of it. Holmes will now get 2 free throws. That is her third personal. She's in foul trouble. We talked in the keys to the game. Central needs to stay out of foul trouble. With 6:25 to go in the first, as Holmes misses her first, Willie Taylor has to take her out of the game and send in Kiara Johnson. We said in the open, you don't want to be making too many lineup experiments against Minneapolis South.
No, and I think Central is in their starting lineup. Did West start?
West did start.
So the Central is in their starting lineup with the exception of Johnson in for Taylor. Kramer's into the game for the first time for South, and South showing that what a strong bench they have is now they are 9 deep into the game.
Kramer struggled in the Kennedy game, did not score and fouled out. Buford to Jones. Jones can't get the backboard. Megan Howard cleans it up. Howard is known for her offensive rebounding.
Central needs to step up the defense. It may look like they're playing a strong half-court man, but they really need to step it in just a little bit more into the lanes.
Sienna West is open, and she capitalizes.
6-point game with 5:40 to go in the half, and we're going to get timeout by Emil at South High.
South was up by 10 just a few seconds ago.
Hey, I got the stupid trivia fact of the game for you for this game. Are you ready?
You ready?
Do you know who Vince Flynn is?
I do not.
Vince Flynn is a local writer. He's got a series of books where his main character is Mitch Rapp, a CIA agent. His sister, Kelly Flynn, has been the athletic trainer from NovaCare Rehabilitation for the Minneapolis City Conference for nearly as long as I've been around, and that's 20 years. The stupid trivia fact of the day.
Brought to you by Tony Geer. Speaking of trivia, we have some other players here today. Megan Knight from Centennial is attending today's game. Megan Knight, one of the 2 marquee players for Centennial, and a big reason why they're a big favorite going into the state tournament as the one to beat.
Centennial has a lot to play for. The last number of years, they've had some difficulty getting out of their region and having a solid experience in the state tournaments. As I indicated to you off mic, South and Central have had that experience. Centennial is just showing a little more hunger.
This rivalry has gone back for a long time. Hill to Smith for 3. Bullseye!
Hill taking advantage of the double team, finding the open man, which was Smith at that time, and Smith took advantage of being wide open.
Smith has double digits in scoring. Buford wanted Jones to go inside. That didn't work. Buford now from mid-range gets the bounce.
And that's something that's missing in basketball now with the three-point line, is that mid-range 14, 15-foot shot.
It was only 20 years ago that there was no three-point line.
You say only like you were there.
As Hammock gets one just outside the foul lane. I wasn't there, but thanks to the internet and channels at Air Classic games, you can see you can watch games from the old days.
The Back to the Day channel?
The Back to the Day channel.
9-point lead again for South, 4:35. Central with the ball.
And South trying a zone of their own. Howard, double teamed, finds West. Central will reset. There's no shot clock, so you can take as much time as you want, but that's not going to get it done.
Georgie Jones saw the ball fake going to the top. She hesitated on her move down the lane, and she was faked out on the offensive end.
South once again has a chance to put this lead back up to double digits. Foul away from the ball.
Howard tried to fight her way through a pick.
It's on Mallory Kramer.
Kramer didn't hold her position apparently. I saw the reaction, and a lot of times that's what referees see. They don't see the initial contact or action, but they'll see a reaction and call that faster.
No free throws on that foul. West, too strong from the three-point line. Howard tried to clean it up, no good. Gets her own rebound, and third time it's a charm.
The reason there were no free throws is that was a team control foul.
Smith to Holmes. Holmes drives herself and scores. Holmes has no problem attacking the basket, and the lead is back to 9.
She makes up for her height difference with a lot of defenses with her athletic moves on the inside of the lane.
And South scooping up the ball, any chance to get Kramer with the steal. Hill drives herself, too strong. But Holmes with the rebound. To Smith for 3. No. Rebound, Dorsey. Now Central on the other end. Buford is disrupted. Central will keep the ball.
Roberts is in for Kramer for South, but one of the smart things that Buford did there is she didn't get ahead of her defensive player where she knew that Dorsey couldn't make the pass.
Central will retain possession. And height not a factor for University of New York Buffalo. Ephesia Holmes will be going there next year.
Next time out, you'll have to ask me about the connection, Minnesota connection for that team. This might be a good time to tell you, former University of Minnesota coach Linda Hill McDonald is the head coach there. Former St. Paul's conference player Kiara Pearson is an assistant coach there, and Kiara played ball for Willie Taylor there. Although Holmes is from Minneapolis South, there's a strong Metro connection.
Ephesia Holmes, speaking of her, got called for the foul. It's her second personal, and Jones makes her first. Jones, 59% from the free throw line this season.
Both teams above 10 team fouls, so it'll be 2 shots no matter what the call for the foul here on out, more or less.
And speaking of college recruits, Jones is going to Marquette next year. She's 2 of 2 here, where she'll join Angel Robinson, who's already starting for them.
And Marquette does a lot of recruiting in the metro area. They've had players from Burnsville and the West Metro, little travel from Tayler Hill there. Player number 10 off the bench for Emil. The daughter comes in.
Sadaka Jihad, number 23. With 2:43 left in the first. Sam Robinson-Rich is also in the game for Central. The South fans wanted a 10-second call. And Emil wants a double dribble, won't get it. Central will reset. Buford nearly loses it. Goes to Jones inside, she's double teamed, and she is fouled.
I hope it shows on the video as well as we see it here how off balance Central is when they're shooting.
The foul is on Gabrielle Roberts, her third. These two teams picked up right where they left off last year in the Class 4A state championship game. Jones missed her first. With 2:17 to go in the first, we just might see how deep these benches are for both teams if the fouls continue to pile up. Oh for 2 for Georgie Jones.
Have we seen a free throw made since we brought it up? That should get him on track. Holmes got stripped from the ball.
Buford comes up with the steal. Central hasn't taken much advantage. Buford for 3. Bullseye! As I was about to say, Central has had a problem taking advantage of turnovers. Buford sinks one from downtown.
It's been a long time since Central's been within 2 possessions of Minneapolis South.
And here they are, down by 4 again. Holmes. Pass is stolen by Brittany Dorsey. whose pass is picked off by Tyisha Smith, but she stepped on the line. It wouldn't have mattered anyway. Dorsey was there to pick off the pass.
Well, it mattered on a fast break basket for Central.
But they still get possession.
They're going to do a T-box setup. Robinson-Rich. Another one of those head fakes for Jones.
That's two that have gone by Jones today. Amisha Kearney stepping into the game again.
She replaces Jihad.
Minute 15 to go. Holmes to Kramer. Kramer fires, no good. Dorsey with the rebound. Just under a minute to play. Buford for three. Air ball. Hill comes up with it. And now she's going the other way. Too strong. Gets her own rebound. Short. Another rebound. And she'll go to the line. 2 offensive rebounds by Tayler Hill pays off.
That possession was literally Tayler Hill against St. Paul Central. She dribbles out of triple team down here on the defensive end, drives right into the lane and discovers another double or triple team, puts up a couple of shots and finally gets fouled.
The foul is on Kiara Buford, her third personal.
Oh, they haven't made that decision yet. Yeah, they did. They were just checking.
And Hill, who has not missed from the free throw line all game, has a chance to increase it. And the streak continues. But it was a close one.
I was starting to think that announcer jinx was going to carry. Howard has 3 fouls. She'll step back in, replacing Dorsey.
Takoya Hammock stepping in, replacing Amisha Kearney. For 8 for Tayler Hill from the free throw line. Central, they may hope for the final shot. They may try to make something happen. Johnson wants a 3, gets the 3. No good. Last touch by Central.
Hammock had the ball knocked out of her hands, but I thought Hammock reached for it and maybe got a little tip on it. But they're going to say that she had that Jones touched it last. Buford's going to get an extended halftime rest.
I'm sure Willie Taylor considered the fact Buford had 3 fouls, doesn't want her to get 4 before the first half ends. Hill gets another trip to the line. The foul's on Dorsey. She's not happy with it. And Tayler Hill, she's starting to make the free throw line her new home.
She's going to draw a lot of attention as the year winds down, especially such a strong section that they're in with Hopkins, Minnetonka. Armstrong, I think, is in that.
10 for 10.
Some players know how to step up in big games.
Tayler Hill's done that today. And Central have some miscommunication, and they waste a chance to get one more basket before time runs out. Now South has a chance. Smith, too strong. And that's how the first half will come to an end. But South has been dominant as they bring a 39-31 lead into halftime.
Central is doing an excellent job of trying to hang with South, but they're making some mental errors in their shot selection is there, but their position is not.
Well, we'll take a break, and at halftime, we'll bring you to Tracy Buford, Kiara Buford's mother, for an interview, and we'll hear a little more from the Central and South players about the game and some other things. So we'll take you to that, and we'll see you on the flip side.